I think I'm sharing now. Canadian Project of the Year awards. Here we go. These awards, again, started in 2020. There used to be a set of awards offered in Canada called the CPEX Awards, the Canadian Project Excellence Awards. And they were run by a consulting company. The winners were primarily their clients, surprise, surprise. But they were running them in 2009 and earlier. And they kind of stopped around 2009. So we've picked this up and we've been now doing it in 2020. And this is the second time in 2022. That's about the awards. The judging process, somewhat similar. It's a somewhat blind process. The applicants never know who the judges are to prevent influence. And the judges, unfortunately, have to know about the projects, and they can often figure out who the companies are. But we make sure that no judges are in any way tied financially to any of these companies. No shareholdings, no financial relationship through contract work or something like that. So moving ahead. So we had those same 10 categories that we had in the Project of the Year awards. However, a number of them had no entries this year. Again, an opportunity for people to get some activity going here. It's free to apply. Why don't you apply, fill in the form. The form is very similar, just some information about the applicant, some information about the project. Get us some information and we will start assessing, and you may be able to win an award if you get these applications in. So we had 10 categories. We only had applicants in 3 areas: engineering and construction, which was highly competitive. I had quite a few applications in the engineering and construction projects area. So that was a very competitive area. Small projects had a number of projects entering in that area, and sustainability projects. I had I think 2 or 3 applicants in that area. So these 3 areas we determined were competitive enough that we could run the competition in these categories. So let's talk about the finalists. So the 2 finalists were very close in the construction and engineering category. These projects were very, very similar in terms of their scores and the judging, and we are very happy that we had a close call on this one. So let's talk about first Hydro-Quebec's Romaine Complex. This is a $7.2 billion, 1,550 megawatt hydroelectricity complex. So 1550 megawatt hydroelectric complex on the Rivière Romaine on the north shore of the St. Lawrence River. It consists of 4 hydropower generating stations with an average annual output of 8 terawatt hours. These are huge. Construction of the Romaine 2 development began in 2009. This has been a long project. Unit 2 was commissioned in 2014, the Unit 2 generator. Unit 1 came out in 2015, Romaine 3 in 2017, and Romaine 4 is wrapping up right now and is planned to be fully operational before year end. So in the next few weeks. So really excited about that. So Romaine 1, 2, and 3 are already in operations. Not only is the project aiming to create a renewable clean energy source, it's so far created 975 new jobs each year on average since 2009 when the project began. Hydro-Quebec has said it is dedicated to sustainable development without risking the energy supply for future generations. So this project was completed on schedule and with very high safety ratings. They had very few any incidents or accidents on a health and safety perspective, which is one of their top goals. Budget was a little bit over, but within the contingencies that had been allocated. So that's the first project, Hydro-Quebec's Romaine Complex. Very excited. It was an awesome project. Next finalist, the one that's it's a tight race between these two, is in British Columbia, the Royal Inland Hospital Patient Care Tower. The Royal Inland Hospital in Kamloops, BC, is a 254-bed tertiary acute care hospital. It's a smaller hospital. It's one of 2 Interior Health tertiary referral hospitals. The Patient Care Tower project was completed over 2 phases. The expansion included a new operating room and surgical services suite, more beds, medical surgical inpatient units, respiratory therapy services, and a new rooftop helipad that eliminated the need for an ambulance as patients can be brought directly into the trauma rooms in the tower. It also included a mental health and substance use inpatient unit, child and adolescent mental health services, obstetrical services, labor delivery, and a neonatal intensive care unit. And lastly, a first floor atrium and patient registration area. In this new tower, each floor features a spirit animal motif as selected by local First Nations elders. The first floor also features a cultural wall, which was an artistic representation of the local Indigenous communities. It opened this summer in July 2022. And after opening, they're still finishing up some additional work, including renovating and expanding the existing emergency department, plus enhancements to pediatrics and post-anesthetic recovery. This is a $417.2 million project. They've been working on it for 3.5 years. It was a public-private partnership led by Ellis Dawn with some finance partners and 2 government partners and a private fundraising agency that raises money for the hospitals. It was delivered on time with a clean safety record to the delight of all stakeholders. And it was a beautiful project. I mean, it's a model project that others should be able to emulate. So another highly successful project. In fact, it was rated, I think, as one of the top 100 projects in Canada by one of the construction associations. So these are the 2 finalists, tight neck and neck. That's why we're showing 2 of them. We're not just showing the winner. And of these 2, the winner is the Royal Inland Hospital. It just had that extra element there that we thought was really important and of helping the communities, and we gave it the win. But I do want to point out that the Hydro-Quebec project was very close behind. It was a very close second. So we're very excited. Congratulations to the team that won this year's Project of the Year award in the construction and engineering category. Okay, next category is our small project of the year. Next category, the small Canadian small project of the year. And we had a few applications in this area, IT projects. We had a fundraising project for a nonprofit. I mean, these could have applied in other categories, but they decided to go in the small project category. And the competition here was interesting. We were trying to compare apples and oranges from a project perspective, but we had to look at it from how the projects were managed, right? How well the projects were managed. And the winner in this case, oops, sorry, I got the wrong one. This is the sustainability project one comes first. I'm sorry, I read the wrong one. The Deshken Zibi Conservation Impact Bond. So this was in our sustainability project category. This project started in 2019. Phase 1 completed at the end of last year. Phase 2 started early in this year. This project has created an innovative financial instrument aimed at conservation, reconciliation, and local green economic development. As of last summer, July 2021, the pilot, right? They first did a pilot with the Deshken Zibi First Nations. The project resulted in numerous ecological, sociocultural, and economic benefits. They took 69 hectares or 171 acres of habitat in southern Ontario, and they've improved it. They've planted over 39,000 native plants. Approximately 450 people have been worked on supporting this and engaging in high-quality learning and activities on the land. This was initially conceived by Western University's Ivey Business School. The initiatives have pulled together partners such as the Chippewas of the Thames First Nation, or the Deshken Zibi, Verge Capital, the Thames Talbot Land Trust, the Ivey Business School, the Carolinian Canada Coalition, and other financial contributors such as 3M Canada have come together to create an innovative financial instrument that will soon be, this concept will soon be traded on the stock market. People will be able to invest in these bonds and make a return on them by helping fund these conservation projects. Extremely innovative initiative. In 2022, the project expanded with the launch of a new version, the Long Point Walsingham Conservation Impact Bond, which looks at a new area. It's going to fund a new series of conservation projects. The overall objective for these two project phases is to solidify a scalable conservation impact bond model to build relationships for reversing the trend of habitat loss and eventually doubling habitat levels in the Carolinian zone in harmony with existing land uses to achieve minimum recommended levels of 30% natural cover for healthy landscapes. The longer-term goal is for the bonds to become financially self-sustaining and supported by a community of people willing to work together in a process of advancing healthy landscapes and healing relations for the long term. This one easily won because of its potential for huge long-term impacts, its innovation, its ability to pull together various stakeholder groups, including indigenous groups, financial services companies, et cetera, where it's able to pull them all together to make sustainable differences. And we're proud to name this one the winner of the Canadian Sustainability Project of the Year for 2022. Yeah, some congratulations going up in the chat windows. That's really good. Thank you. I'll just read them out because some people will be hearing this later via the recording, and they won't be able to see the chats. So there was some congratulations coming out. These are impressive projects. Congratulations to the Ivey Business School students. So impressive, very innovative, some great comments coming in. So for those who catch this later on the recording, great job. You did good. Okay, and the last one is the small project of the year that I got in the wrong order here. And that one goes to the Our Lady of the Assumption Catholic Church Historical Restoration Project Phase 2. This church restoration project saved a protected and historically significant building after it was shut down due to safety concerns caused by the building's degradation and advanced age. In fact, Canada's Heritage Trust added the building to the list of the 10 most endangered heritage buildings in Canada. And with the high level of public and media interest and several powerful external stakeholders, including the Catholic Church, the Canadian federal government, provincial and local governments, and historical societies, the project team faced significant risk and stakeholder management challenges. Despite these and many more challenges, this phase of the ongoing project was delivered on time, under budget, and with very positive media coverage. Now, let me just check here because earlier we had somebody from this project on the call. Yes, we do. Tony Pupatello, are you able to unmute? Tony was the project manager on this initiative. Tony, if you can unmute your line. There you go. Congratulations, Tony. Do you have a couple words to say? You're muted on this end, but we're not hearing you. Maybe if I try this, make you a co-host, maybe you can speak now. Tony, do you want to say a couple words? Okay, Tony is here. He's unmuted. He clicked himself, but we're not getting the audio. But congratulations, Tony. Great job. Very significant work. I had numerous pictures. That's just one of the pictures on the window showing the plaster was all degraded. There was water leaks. There was all kinds of problems in there, and they did significant structural and finishing work in some areas that had very historical paint work and sensitive artwork that they had to work around. So I'm seeing in the chat window, he said he can't get his audio working, but saying thank you, and I see congratulations to the church. Must be a nice project. Lots of good comments coming up in there. Thank you very much, everybody, for those great comments, and congratulations, Tony, on winning the Canadian Small Project of the Year Award for 2022. So let's celebrate our winners. Our finalists, Hydro-Quebec's Romaine Complex, for coming in a close second. The overall winner, the BC's Royal Inland Hospital Patient Care Tower. For Sustainability Project of the Year, the Deshkin Zibi Conservation Impact Bond. And lastly, the Canadian Small Project of the Year, the Our Lady of the Assumption Catholic Church in Windsor, the historical restoration of that church. So thank you, everybody, and congratulations. Very good. Please spread the word about these awards and keep your eye out for details on the expanded awards program that we'll be doing for next year. We're going to be opening this up again, probably March timeframe. There will be application forms so we can get the process started. We usually do the applications for PM of the year and Project of the Year around mid to end of March, around that timeframe, which gives us lots of time to get all the applications in by the end of September. So keep your eyes out for those, and please get some submissions in. The more people we have, the more awards we give out, and the more interesting the competition is as well. Okay. Any comments, questions, any feedback on the awards? Either type it in the chat window or feel free to unmute your line and say a few words if you have something to add. Don't be shy if anybody has something to say or something to add.